What's up, squad? This your girl Kaylee, back with day 14 of Vlogtober, Bosstober. And today we are celebrating Working Woman, Working Women Wednesday. For today's special, I am only going to do one working woman today. And this special privilege goes to a dear friend and relative of mine. Her name is Lissia Phillips. This is a Working Woman Wednesday special, not really specializing towards any type of inventory, any type of product or service, but we're just appreciating Black artists who express themselves very well. That to me is a working woman as well. So with Miss Lissia, her art is writing. I've had the pleasure of reading many things of hers over the years. I've even had the pleasure to collaborate on writing with her. But today, I am glad to be able to say that I am very proud of the work that she has been creating as of late. If you all like content that is very descriptive, very visual, you will definitely enjoy her work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of her short stories, a piece of one of her short stories, and just kind of read some of it to you guys and try to put some visuals to it if I can, to kind of give you my interpretation of what is going on. And it is titled Haunted. I'm going to read her latest release. So let's get into it. He caught me. It wasn't hard to hear my stomping around on fallen leaves and twigs. His fingers thread with my hair and yanked me back against his naked chest. Where do you think you are going? His humid, rancid breath breathed into my ears so hard that my hearing was momentarily impaired. I stammered, unaware of what to say to such a beast. Surely he would rip me limb from limb. I just wanted to tell you I was late coming home and I couldn't make dinner. I can get started on it for you and our guests. I searched the ground ahead of me, perhaps looking for a rope to pull me out of this mess. Oh, honey, that is very sweet of you. Our guests don't need food, but you can take this back to the house and throw it on the grill. I swallowed hard as he turned me around to face him. His eyes were wide and crazy as he stared down into me. He held a Tupperware container of something bloody and he seemed to be waiting for me to take it. I quickly grabbed it from his hand and began to back away. I'll get this started right away. I turned my back to him, and before I could take my first step, don't rush. I'm having too much fun to stop anytime soon. And honey, don't you dare think of calling the cops unless you want to be tomorrow's dinner. His voice was low and guttural. My entire spine shook. I definitely would not be calling the police. What I would have to do would require cunning, something I wasn't sure yet if I possessed. For now, the monster demanded dinner, and dinner he would have. Knowing where he was on the property gave me a sense of comfort. I felt ease in that knowledge, and a numbness filled me that I carried into my body, and I felt outside of it in the stillness of moments walking soft grass. My thoughts were filled with cicadas singing loudly, and I allowed them to be my songbirds of anguish. Home was not what this felt like. The heat coming from the fireplace so carelessly left aflame reminded me that I had his dinner in my hand, and the reality of what it was brought me alive to the sensations I had ignored. The killing in the woods with a monster I had completely misjudged. How had he not killed me in the times that I spoke to him in anger just to be slapped or kicked? How fortunate. The items in my hands held firm enough that my knuckles looked bone white until I placed the container gently, respectfully down on the chopping board countertop. What kind of woman was I to consider what meal would go well with what he provided? The weakest of them for sure to not even consider dialing police. Instead, the wave of terror that shook through me brought me to my knees, and the hard ceramic tiling stung my knees. Weak, weak, weak. I shoved my face into my fists and screamed out toward the nothing void that was my life. I looked at the counter in disdain and lurched myself from my spot on the floor. Maybe if I look at it, common sense will drive me into action. I lifted the lid and stared down at the human heart that seemed to thump loudly despite being detached. My vision was blurry as I sidestepped to lurch into the sink. I had to get out of here. I had to save them. How would I accomplish this? I had no idea. I turned away from the monstrosity before me and looked out at the carpeted living room that was filled with his leather couches and animal faces. He hunted and stuffed the animals in these woods like trophies. I had no idea that involved people. Every piece of our life sprang into my memory, making more sense as the puzzle was put together. I walked out of the kitchen around the bar counter and down the hall to our bedroom. There were red lights on at all times in here, bloody and malicious, even in the chamber that was meant to be for love. I turned on the closet light and walked into my clothing, allowing my sobs to be muffled once again in these familiar folds of cotton. Whoa. Now, I read a few of these. This is chapter 6. This is a saga. I'm going to leave the link below if you want to go back to the very beginning to see how we got to this place. But I love the descriptiveness. I love the darkness. I love that it reminds me of a few different things. I can definitely visualize some things from Children of the Corn. The setting feels old school. It also feels dark as Flowers in the Attic. Like, I don't know if you remember this movie or not. John Stamos played in a movie where he married a woman just because she looked like his mother. And that was a very dark movie as well, because he was attacking women in that movie as well. Criminal Minds had an episode as well where a man, he was married with children, but he was going around killing women by way of the 50 Shades of Grey book. Inspired, because it wasn't titled that in that particular episode, but it was inspired by the 50 Shades of Grey. Those people who can seemingly blend in with society under normal standards, but they have a dark side. But I love the imagery here. You can really get a sense of they're out in this far away spot where they have their house and he's doing some terrible things. Let me know if you like this insert. I'll leave the link below so that you can get into Miss Lissia Phillips. She is amazing. Leave comments below. Tell me what you think about it. I'll definitely feature her again to see where this story unfolds. But yes, this is dedicated to you, Lissia. You are my working woman for today, and I love you. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I just wanted to make this really quick and let you guys know what I was reading during this quarantine, during this Halloween time. It came right on time, especially with Halloween being right around the corner. See you guys tomorrow. Remember, squad, I love you. And tell me how you bossing. Oh, and tell me what you think of my hat. All right, bye y'all.